Ignition sequence start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Okay, so do we...
Yeah, let's go.
Hi, everyone.
What's up?
Welcome to our first episode of Navigating 20s.
Woo!
Your host, Jocelyn.
And I'm Ethan.
Boo!
Welcome to the first official episode.
Yes. Oh my gosh, this has been something that me and Ethan have been talking about for like the past couple of months now. And now that it's actually here, it's a bit crazy. But yeah, like the whole reason, to introduce ourselves, right? So I'm currently, I'm like a mid-junior right now. And I'm studying film. Yeah, like I'm going to film school, and like I guess the end goal for me would basically be to become like a film director one day and be like boots crazy.
And you will.
Yeah, so yeah, that's really what I'm up to. How about you, Ethan?
I'm also a junior in college. I'm currently studying psychology.
Hey.
And then grad school might be in the plans for myself, but I'm not thinking that far ahead right now. I think that it's something I eventually want to do. Clinical psychology has been something I've been gravitating towards as I've kind of just like been reflecting on myself and my experiences within the past year. But that's kind of where I'm at right now. Yeah.
Yes, boots.
Yes. Major in psych.
Yes, look at us.
Look
oh
at
my
us.
gosh. Guys, this is actually crazy because me and Ethan have known each other for like the past 15 years and we're like childhood friends.
No, for real. I actually did the math right before you had gotten here, and we've been friends. For context, we're 21 years old and we met in K5, so it's been about like 16 years. And yeah, I think this is crazy that we're still in each other's lives, but probably for a reason.
Yeah, no, literally, we're gonna be together forever
and ever.
Yes, because he's bae.
And damn. But yeah, so we've been wanting to do this for a little bit. I think we both decided that I don't know, I think we needed a bit of a creative outlet for ourselves, just to like express ourselves, but then also to enjoy our time together and like make something out of it. Like if we can, we can, and if this blows, it blows. But we're gonna look back on this in the future and remember when we took that chance, you know what I'm saying, when we were in our early 20s. And I think kind of the gist of the podcast is just like exploring some life circumstances that we went through and like sharing updates here and there, what's going on in our personal lives and where we want to be in the future as we're navigating our 20s. Yeah, right?
Yeah, I think like this is just like such a good outlet for us because like we be talking like for real. We be having conversations, and like I think it would just be like a bit helpful for people that are like around like the same age as us. Yeah, I think like I haven't heard of like a lot of podcasts that talk about like, you know, like certain experiences such as like being like a person of color at a PWI, or like just like certain like life situations that me and Ethan have been through. Some way like this podcast would be like a time capsule for like me and Ethan to look back on like when we're like 30 or like, you know, like years later in the road.
I think that'll be like a really cathartic experience to like kind of look back on these episodes and see where we were in our lives at the time. I'm only 21, and the first 2 years within my 20s alone have been pretty eventful and pretty crazy. I would say I've grown so much in the last like 2-3 years than I have in my first like 18 years of life. So I don't know. Yeah, the 20s are definitely something magical that I kind of want to reflect on and look back on and kind of enjoy, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to have to dwell on the past. I kind of want to just remember the good times, and this will be a way to do that, hopefully.
Yeah.
So what's like our experience as far as podcasts go? Because yeah, like you mentioned, there aren't really too many podcasts like dive into these topics per se. But if I'm being completely honest, like I haven't even explored those type of podcasts. My realm within the podcast world is like true crime and like murder. And yeah, that's for me. I like to listen to like murder podcasts before I go to bed. And I've gotten some comments on that. I think just like, are you okay? But yeah, I don't know. I think just the seriousness of it all just really calms me down before having to go to bed. But I be enjoying them podcasts for real. So
Yeah.
Yeah, what about you? What experience with
I
podcasts?
think podcasts, I listen to like a lot of different things.
Mhm.
I listen to like a lot of people that were like in Vine that became like YouTubers, I guess, and like
For sure.
made podcasts. And I like murder mystery too, but I like podcasts that like kind of like unwind me down and like just make me laugh. Cause like I think like with podcasts, like sometimes you just need a little laugh, cause life be lifing sometimes, guys. So
For real.
yeah, like you just need someone to be like, hey, like it'll be okay, like you're good. So yeah, I guess that's one of the reasons why like we just want to be like a time in which you guys are just like unwinding for the day, or just like need something to listen to that'll bring you like not only laughter but also like make you feel like better, or like feel like you can like relate to people,
Make you feel seen.
yeah, because yeah, like navigating 20s is kind of crazy, like it actually is. But it's okay, cause that's what the 20s are for. Like it's for you to like navigate like so many things that just need to be like dealt with or like resolved, so that you don't have to like deal with it in the future, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
But
as far as this episode goes, I think we just kind of wanted to get ourselves out there and like have
just,
people
like,
understand.
introduce
Ourselves. Yeah.
Yes.
We had mentioned we kind of want this to be a capsule in time and just like a peek into life during this time when we look back on it in the future. And I think one way that we can kind of do that is examining what's going on within the entertainment world. What you think?
Me too, bro. Like, actually, like, I think always a lot about like different, I guess, like, forms of like media from back then, because a lot of crazy things have been happening in pop culture. I guess like the Kendrick and Drake beef. I don't know if you guys been like hearing about that, but yeah, about like the Kendrick and Drake beef. Like, how do you feel about like that whole thing? I guess.
I mean, it was just kind of crazy to kind of watch it all unfold, to be honest. I wasn't really tuning into Drake's new album. I wasn't one to kind of like stay up and wait for his new drops, but For All the Dogs was one that I actually did listen to relatively close to its drop. And yeah, I remember listening to First Person Shooter. It wasn't one of my favorites, but obviously we kind of know the context of that and how that all played out. The Big Three conversation, and then Kendrick kind of came along. He was like, nah, fuck that, it's just Big Me. Like, so I don't know, he kind of came out of nowhere and was like, nah, like, I'm my own person, like, y'all can't try to box me into this category with y'all. And he obviously sees himself as like better than, in a way. I think he just kind of knows his worth and he doesn't want to submit to a category. But
yeah, I was like looking at like a lot of like YouTube videos on like lore, because like basically like, yeah, like this has been like a whole thing for like a while. But yeah, like when like that dropped, I actually like lost my marbles, I guess, if that makes sense.
Your marbles.
That's kind of white. But yeah, it was crazy to hear that, and then like it was crazy to just like, be waiting like at night, like, and like everything was just dropping, like Euphoria and was it Meet the Grams, and then Not Like Us. Yeah. Meet the Grams was actually like very depressing to hear.
It was insane. I remember the night it dropped. Actually, I was on YouTube and I see like on my homepage 13 minutes ago Kendrick dropped Meet the Grams. I said, Aubrey? Like, okay, let me tune in. What is this about? And he starts off, Dear Adonis. I was like, what? He's talking to this man's child, disrespecting him, calling him out of his name. And then he drops the bombshell, allegedly, supposedly, that Drake has another child he's been hiding. But apparently that was debunked. But what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy because, I mean, let me just, like, dive in a little bit.
Sure.
But, my dad is a bit of a deadbeat, too. So when the song dropped, I was like, wait, like, I don't like you, Drake. Because I'm like, bro, like, how are you a deadbeat? But obviously, like, I heard that it was debunked, so like I'm not gonna hate on Mr. Aubrey. But yeah, I mean, in general, like, I think with like the Kendrick and Drake beef, I always knew in my mind that like Kendrick was gonna win. He's better. Yeah, like he's just better in general. And like it was just like really funny because like when I go to listen to Drake, like sometimes like it's just like for a good time and I'm like there and like it's good, like I like it. Obviously he makes hits and stuff,
right?
But you know, when I listen to Kendrick's like past album,
Mr.
Like,
Morale. Yeah.
yeah, it was just like it was like a crazy piece of work to really look at, even though like technically it didn't sell as much as like his other past albums. I think it was just like him as an artist, like he was talking about like different experiences that he's like gone through, and it's just like lyrically like he is there. So like I knew he was gonna eat down, and
100%.
yeah, and I think the beef is over.
Yeah.
Now, I think like Drake actually put the little white flag up and surrendered. But it was just really funny cuz I don't know if you guys like saw too. There's like a lot of videos on TikTok where like people were like, oh, like how was Metro Boomin dissing Drake, and he was just like making beats.
he was like the guy in the computer, the guy at the computer with the swivel chair, while
Yeah.
Future was like in the booth actually
Yeah.
taking shots. But
yeah, and then like Future, like everybody was like saying that like Future sounded like he was like smiling, and obviously like you guys know how like Future smiles.
oh my
like,
gosh.
and yeah, I guess like it was just like really funny because yeah, like they were just taking jabs at each other, and then like kind of out of nowhere like Kendrick came, and it was just like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I kind of have to agree with your point. I feel like when we're having the conversation in relation to Drake and Kendrick, I personally feel like Kendrick is more of an album artist, whereas Drake is more of like a singles artist. Drake, in the context in which I know him, I feel like he is known for his hits, his bops, and if you want to have a good time, you can put on some Drake, you know what I'm saying? Whereas Kendrick, if you actually want to sit down and analyze some real shit, like that's your go-to artist, you know what I'm saying? Him and Cole, to be honest. Yeah, and Mr. Morale was like one of my summer of 2022 albums, so I really have to say hats off to Kendrick. I think he took the W, but Drake removed himself from the equation. But what else has been going on recently?
I saw on Twitter today that there's like 50 Red Lobsters that are closing down, like their locations. And I'm like, that's crazy because I need my cheddar biscuits like right now.
The cheddar biscuits cannot go. One thing about it. No, I'm not even gonna lie. I've probably been to Red Lobster once, and you see, I'm a seafood type of person, but my family, they're just really picky eaters, and they never like to venture off into trying new things. So we never really went to Red Lobster as a family. But I'd be open to going before they close down these 50 locations, cause shit, I want to try these cheddar biscuits that you're hyping up.
You know, a lot of people have been saying on Twitter that basically the reason why Red Lobster is even closing down is because they had like it was like this like eat all the shrimp you want deal or something, and that's like what basically made them go bankrupt.
Oh my god, what?
Yeah.
No, I know I'd be in there making a fool of myself with the all you can eat shrimp.
Yeah, I think it was like $20 some to just eat like even all types of shrimp, I think. So
jeez,
that's crazy. Guys, Hailey Bieber is having a child with Justin Bieber. How are my Selena Bieber fans doing right now?
The first Bieber baby. That's kind of crazy. I'm not even gonna lie. Congratulations to them, first of all. They've been married for a couple years now, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like the whole. I don't want to insert myself into a conversation that doesn't, like, my opinion doesn't necessarily matter or not, but I feel like Selena has kind of moved on since the marriage, and I feel like them two together, they kind of been ready to plan a life and a future together, especially with children in the picture. This is probably something that I feel like they've put a lot of thought into with, like, how prominent they are within society, you know what I'm saying? I feel like this is something they actually put some time and thought into, but I don't know. I'm happy for them. I'm kind of neutral on the whole situation, but yeah, in regards to like the whole Selena conversation, I feel like their chapter has closed. I feel like it was time to put a nail in that coffin.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. I really wasn't. I think I'm gonna put like the effect where like what? I really wasn't.
The shock.
Yeah, it was like a shock effect. I really wasn't like a Justin Bieber fan growing up because I didn't like really grow up with that. I guess like all I did watch like at home was like Telemundo and like cartel movies and like the Fast and Furious movies. So
That's real.
like I didn't really have like a variety like to select from, but now I guess I'm more of a media person, and obviously that makes sense now because like I'm in film school and everything. So and like yeah, in general, like it's just really funny to see that like some people are like actually crying and suffering over this, because I'm like, guys, like they're people at the end of the day. Like everyone's a person, like, but yeah.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we're all just trying to find our partner in life and figure out our way in the world, but we can't necessarily be upset when somebody else decides to continue on with their life and expand their family. But
but congratulations
to the
them.
Beavers. Yeah.
Yes.
What else has been happening? Oh, actually, just for some context, you guys, me and Jocelyn actually went to go see a relatively new film a couple weeks ago, and it starred the one and only Zendaya. But let me not give her too much credit, because all of the actors within this movie were phenomenal. Luca, she ate down too. Yes. Luca G, he did a great job directing the film, and we actually saw Challengers. You want to speak on that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the sexiest movie I've seen in 2024, and maybe in like a while. He did it so well, and obviously it makes sense,
right?
Because he's a little cute.
There's a little sweetness to him.
Yeah, he's a little cutie. Even though I'm talking about like a 50-year-old man. No. But I hold that man close to my heart because he makes a lot of good gay movies.
This is actually the first of his films that I've actually seen, but I had a really good time watching it. From the soundtrack to like the visual elements, the story, all of it, and like the undertones. And we had a conversation afterwards about like the overarching theme of Challengers. But yeah, I feel like it was just all around a good experience and something that I would watch again, to be honest.
Yes, because Tashi loved tennis, Patrick loved art, and what's it called?
Art loved Tashi.
Art loved Tashi. Yeah. And that is sad, guys. That is kind of a little bit sad. The movie was really good, and it kind of made me have like a little mental crisis, I guess, with myself. Yeah. But yeah, overall that movie was really good. I might pick up a tennis racket this summer.
I heard they started selling Challengers merch in stores, tennis rackets and tennis balls and all of the good stuff.
I'm gonna be hitting some balls.
No, for real, I feel like the movie actually did inspire me to kind of want to start picking up tennis, but I'm like, at this point in my life, like, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? But why not?
Yeah, and I feel like sports would be a bit more exciting for me if they had that type of music score added, like during the games, because those tennis matches were like actually like crazy, and like you could feel like all the tension like in that film, like when the matches were going on, and like even with like the end of it, like it was so crazy, like it was so euphoric to watch.
I was gonna say the exact same thing. I feel like that ending scene really did it for me. Like I said, the visual effects, just seeing like the different camera dynamic shots, and we saw the match from the perspective of the tennis ball, which I thought was like kind of crazy, and it just kind of like added to that tension, you know.
Yes, but
we enjoyed thoroughly.
Yes, literally we were like, thank you, Luca, for eating us up. Thank you for serving us, and thank you for feeding us. Let me know, are you guys a art art fan, or are you a Patrick fan? Like, who is your man? Because my man at the beginning was art, because I was like, wait, yes, like bring back like whimpering and like desperate men back, like but yeah, I really loved him first, and he's so cute. But then like I was seeing on Twitter that people were like comparing Mike Feist, which is art, and Patrick, which is Josh O'Connor. They were comparing them to Stuart Little and the guy from Flushed Away.
No, for real?
Because like because they look like mice that became humans.
She was comparing Mike to Stuart Little.
Yeah,
I can kind of see that.
And then like the Flushed Away. Have you seen the Flushed Away?
I have. They have like very.
Yeah, they look very similar. Yes.
I can picture the character design, and yeah, I can see the similarities between the two.
And you know what's so funny? I I have the Stuart Little DVD and the Flushed Away DVD. So when I started looking at it, I was like, wait, what merch do I have from Challengers? It's literally my Challengers poster and my Stuart Little and Flushed Away DVD.
All part of the collection, the limited edition
literally.
collection. No, yeah, I would say going into it, I was leaning towards Patrick's character.
He's hot.
But I
Kind
think
of.
I think yeah, just first impression, I was like, okay, Patrick. And then Tashi, she's in her own league, right? But then as the film kind of progressed, I was like, okay, I'm leaning towards art a little bit, opening up, but
Yeah. Like if you put like a little Beyonce edit like to art, like literally people would be like, yeah.
the edits be crazy on TikTok. They just be editing anything at this point. Like it'll be the most random clip from the most random TV show, and they'll just edit it and like put the effects with the beat drops and everything. It's crazy. But then they actually do make some really cool like fan cams and shit like that for people.
Yes. Because I've been saving all of the Challengers ones.
Really?
Yes. Oh my gosh, on my For You page today, actually it was kind of funny. Caesar from like Planet of the Apes, like someone did like a thirst trap for him with Beyonce's like Drunken Love, and it was like really crazy because then people were like in the comments like saying like, oh, like we're lost as like a generation, like for real, like how are we thirsting over like
a CGI ape?
A CGI ape.
No, that's crazy. Making a whole edit to a CGI character is insane. And then to Beyonce, come on now. So unserious, but I feel like that's our generation's like humor and
yeah, we're so like unserious.
Yeah.
Like sometimes like I'll just think of I don't know if you've heard of this TikTok, Ethan, or it's like it's this lady and her daughter says like, oh, Jesus was like seen at like Idaho or like Indiana. Yes. And she was like, please, Rachel, like, show it to me, please.
Please, Rachel. I love that video. Jesus was seen alive or some shit like that. Jesus was spotted and then she started bawling.
Yeah.
That shit was hilarious. I love that TikTok. That's probably one of the few TikToks I actually have saved because I don't be on TikTok like that and I don't really be saving shit, but that was one of them. I feel like that was one of them ones for real.
I think I'm on TikTok too much. I think like my screen time is like, well, it depends because like, you know, like I work full time kind of. So
that's a hardworking woman. Yeah. One thing about it.
Yes, you too though. You're very hardworking.
Thanks.
Like you be working like on that studying and like books and stuff.
I be trying.
Yeah, cause no, it's really hard, guys, to be a college student sometimes, especially like being first generation and 100%. And like a person of color even sometimes.
Two people of color at PWIs at that. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. Me and Ethan, like, I guess we could say, like, we did have, like, similar experiences.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Because, like, literally, like, the first 2 years were so crazy to me. Like, I almost wanted to, like, myself. But everything's all good now. I'm in classes in which, like, there's more people of color. And, like, I just feel, like, better. Because sometimes it would just be, like, myself, like, in class and, like, yeah, it was just like a bit hard to make friends like at first, but now like that I'm a junior, like everything has kind of like leveled out. So yeah, I just like have more friends like in school now.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yes.
I feel like my experience at a PWI has also been like relatively the same. My first year, I think the culture shock definitely hit me, but I think I was just more so thrown off by like how fast paced college was because you're fitting all of these classes within a short time frame. You know, you have to complete the class and all of the class material, learn all of that material, study it within a semester. And I don't know, for me, I just didn't hit the ground running. And we started our freshman year of college post-pandemic. Actually, I think we were still in the pandemic because my freshman year, we were still required to wear masks. What about you?
Yeah, me too. We were required to like wear masks. And I think just in general, like they had more of a selection for online classes. So like for a while, like I was just like online.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily know how to study because high school, here's the thing, I thought high school was like a good representative model of what like college was going to be like to a certain extent, you know, when it came to like studying or whatnot. college comes along, and I had no idea what I was in for, you know what I'm saying? And my freshman year, my first semester, I started with 18 credits. And as a freshman, 18 credits your first semester, like, that is extremely hard to handle. Like, you actually have to
confident.
be.
You
No,
were like,
I was
yes, girl,
really
I got
feeling
this.
confident. I had placed into like a high level Spanish class, and that's because I knew Spanish like growing up through word of mouth and just like hearing it. I grew up in a Latino household, and yeah, I had learned Spanish through just like hearing it. And
My gente latino.
mi gente
Like-
latino.
It's like with Jalen, she's like,
Shout out J-Lo, bro. Actually, no shout outs
Actually,
to J-Lo. No shout outs to Jenny from the block, who isn't even from the block for real. But anyways. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, my freshman year, it was just a lot to handle. And I kind of started going down the wrong path, and I kind of had to like reevaluate, and I just had to find myself again as like college kind of progressed on, and now we're here. And I came in to the university thinking I was going to do one thing, and now I might graduate doing something completely different, but in the end it all works out, so I'm really not stressing about it as much as I was last year.
guys. Yes, you're never alone really, like during your college journey, because I understand, like, just for like anyone, like college is really like hard to do, even if you're not like working like full time, or if you're not working like a part-time job or this and that, like just like with like internships, school life, and like giving yourself like there's not a lot of time in the day to like really like relax. So like
Right.
I'm applauding you guys, because like, yeah, being in college, it's sometimes really difficult, but once you finish and you got that degree, like I know we're all gonna be feeling good after
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Like we're gonna be like, hey.
Shout out class of 2024 for real. I knew a couple different people that
Yes.
actually just graduated recently, and so ecstatically happy for them.
Me
but
too. I kept like even on TikTok, like I kept seeing like you know, like first generation students graduating, and it just like I kept hearting all of them, and like I kept like crying, because yeah, it's just like in general, like I'm so proud of each and every person that like goes to college and, you know, does like, you know, like the 4-year degree,
Right.
I suppose, because I know it takes some people longer, but yeah, like when you do that degree, like, yeah, like it's something that's really hard to do, and you gotta be determined and have like such a good support system to stay here. So yeah, guys, like congratulations to the class of 2024, because they did that like for y'all 8.
No, yeah.
When I started seeing
they
y'all
did.
majors and minors, I was like, wait, like y'all are like smart boots.
No, yeah.
Even if you did just your major, like that is such an accomplishment. Like whether you're like doing like the arts or education or STEM or just like anything in particular, like everything is hard within itself. So yes, guys, y'all did that for real.
Yeah, we're all on our own journeys and on our independent paths in terms of trying to get to the finish line and get to where we are. I know we've definitely had one-on-one conversations about that, and just like feeling discouraged or like lost within this world and like within higher ed. But yeah, I think we kind of learned to give ourselves grace a little bit through conversations, and I think that's what we ultimately kind of want to help other people kind of come to realize through this podcast. But yeah, ultimately we're all on our own path. We can all celebrate our own accomplishments whenever we reach those milestones, because at the end of the day, like, we're setting this path up for ourselves. There's no reason to compete or compare. We're all just here trying to make it in this world and be seen and have a seat at those tables and ensure that our voices are heard. And I feel like at the end of the day, like, that's what really matters, like us making it to the finish line and getting our degrees and figuring out next steps. Like, it's all part of the process. And yeah, I'm just happy for not only us, but the graduates who made it this year. You know what I'm saying?
So for this Oscar season, me and Ethan went to like go see like all the Best Picture nominations for 2023, I believe. And yeah, it was really crazy to watch like the movies that we did. I think we watched 4.
We did.
It was Past Lives, Anatomy of a Fall,
We also had Poor Things.
Poor Things, and then American Fiction.
That's right.
All different kinds of movies that you know, I guess did a little thing to the both of us, for real.
For real. And then side note, we also did see Barbie and Oppenheimer, but that wasn't part of the marathon.
Yeah, that was like in the summer.
Yeah.
Barbenheimer,
a moment.
love, yes.
But yeah, what were your top picks for what we had seen for the films that we did see during the marathon?
I really loved Poor Things.
Yes.
Like, actually, when I watched that with Ethan and my other friend, it was actually, like, really crazy because I had seen it first and I was like, guys, like, just wait. Like, when y'all see it, like, your mind's gonna feel crazy. And it was such a crazy, like, film to experience. And I guess, like, my takeaway, like, it kind of left me, like, wait, like, what if women were, like, actually allowed to, like, be a person? Without, like, society standards, like, behind them. So I think, yeah, Poor Things was really good for me. Then we watched Anatomy of a Fall next.
We did.
It was really good. I think the music score was really good because, like, literally, like, people were, like, summarizing it, like, on TikTok. It was literally, like, that, it was that one song that they kept, like, playing. It was, like, the guy's, like, favorite song. The Father's. It was, like, and it's, like, loud.
Yeah, when they were, like, trying to do the investigation scene or whatever, and they just had the music blasting.
Yeah. I think the movie was good. I think I probably want to watch it again just because, like, I was just, like, a bit confused, but... Yeah,
that was one of it was like slower pace, so I feel like it's not too vivid in my memory, but I did really enjoy it and I liked the mystery aspect of it all. And like there was a lot of courtroom scenes. I remember that, like the courtroom scenes. I feel like those were really interesting, but ultimately it kind of left us on a cliffhanger and almost allowed us to come to rationalize our own conclusion and come up with your own theories for how the film ended. But it was definitely a good watch. I would go back and see it again just to refresh my memory. And like I said, it was a bit slower paced, so I'd want to go back and just double check that I actually caught everything. You know, maybe my opinion can change on how the film ended, but I was happy with that one.
Yes, and guys, I'm forgetting his name. I think his name is like Swan or Arlud Swan or something like that. It was the lawyer, I think, right? Oh my gosh, he was so hot. I kept like for me, like he was kind of like a older Austin Abrams, and I literally was like, I kept seeing all the edits and I'm like, yes, like y'all are eating.
We were just talking about TikTok edits. Yes. you definitely had some of them come up, huh?
I love TikTok edits. They're actually like my life. Like they actually like give me so much dopamine. I don't know what I'm gonna do if they ban TikTok.
Oh,
like, for real.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They've been having that whole conversation about like banning TikTok, and I just seen these like stupid clips from the trials, and people were like, does TikTok have access to the Wi-Fi network? And it's just like, does it? Like, would it? Is that a real question? Like, how else would you access TikTok if you weren't like, connected to the internet?
They were asking the founder of TikTok, like, if he was Chinese, and he kept saying like, no, I'm Singaporean, like he's from Singapore, and they were just like, no. I'm like, that's crazy. But he's fighting. Father is fighting right now. He's fighting in the courts so that we can have access to TikTok. But going back into like the Oscar marathon, we went after Anatomy of a Fall. We went to go see Past Lives, and me and Ethan left a wreck.
I think that was actually my favorite film from all the ones that we had seen. I think that one was above Poor Things for me, but Past Lives, yeah, that was a special one. Shout out A24 for real. A24 is always pulling through with the storytelling, the cinematic shots, but I think that one really did something for us because I feel like in a way it kind of like tied into our friendship and how we kind of came back into each other's lives in a way, but it also allowed us to reflect on past situationships and past friendships and all these different things. And I don't know, it's a story I've never seen told within film before, and I actually had such a great appreciation for I'm blanking on the director's name, but for Celine Song, for that to be her directorial debut. that
She ate that.
yeah, you got to give her flowers for real.
She's a director of Past Lives, right? And it was like a throuple. And then the writer of Challengers is her husband. And this movie was a throuples movies too. So,
Yeah, so
I'm like,
what are they hinting at
yeah,
here?
what is going on there?
Allegedly, supposedly.
Love y'all.
No, yeah.
Love both of y'all because y'all actually made movies that changed my life.
No, yeah, actually, two memorable films from this year, and I'm not even exaggerating.
But yeah, Past Lives was actually crazy for me and Ethan, and it was so like heartfelt. You guys should go watch that if y'all want to cry and like think about your life in that way. I just think the story was really unique because she's talking about her experience, about being like Korean American, and obviously that's something that I can like relate to also because I'm Mexican American, and I understand like how that feels because like the times that I've gone to Mexico, like I don't feel like somewhat close to it just because like I haven't been there like for a while. But then sometimes in America, like sometimes I feel like yeah, it's a bit hard to just be like yourself because sometimes like when I'd be in Mexico, like they'd be like you're too American, and then like here in America there's sometimes like, oh, you're too Mexican, girl.
It touches on that idea of like the immigrant experience and like having a double identity within your
One
culture.
person.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about. That film was more so specifically focused on like her experience having been raised in Korea and then moving to the U.S. and kind of navigating life as that all kind of transpired. But I don't know, I feel like in a way that I also kind of related to that because I'm Black and I'm also Mexican, and yeah, I've definitely had some experiences in which I felt like I was too Black to be Mexican or too Mexican to be Black. Obviously I'm Black presenting, but I've always had questions or little comments here and there since I was a child really asked like, what do you identify with? Can you speak Spanish? Do you even know what this is? And people are always shocked that I understand culturally significant details about the Latino and the Black experience. Like it's a 2-in-1 for real, but I don't know, I think I did really resonate with that film and tying it back to the idea that like there can really be someone from this past life who brings these memories and all these experiences back to you, and you kind of just have to sit there and reflect like, which pill do I take? You know what I'm saying? If the red or the blue when it comes to that situation.
And honestly, well, obviously I watched the movie, right? But I would have chosen any day her past man. But her new man seems nice. Like really nice.
He's okay.
I think he's nice because like he allowed her to go see like that sexy ass Korean man. Even though like, sometimes like he could have been like evil and been like, no girl, like you're not gonna go see him. But no, like he seems like a good person, and in the movie like it all kind of makes sense as to why like things went down that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then our last film to like end the Oscars marathon,
American
it was American Fiction.
That one was a good one, I'm not gonna lie.
Yes.
Thinking about that one, a brief synopsis. We had our main character, right? And he was a writer, and he kind of went under this alias, if you will. And he published a book that was called Fuck. And it was kind of speaking on the Black male experience in America. But he was kind of cosplaying as someone who he wasn't, and he kind of like got big recognition for this book, and ultimately he kind of felt like a fraud because he wasn't writing it from his own narrative. He wasn't writing it from a sincere place, you know what I'm saying? It was like his American fiction, and everybody loved it, but it was almost kind of making a mockery of like the Black stereotypes in America, and yeah, people just went crazy for it in the film.
Yeah, and it was just like really crazy to watch because like in the beginning like he writes like literature books and like just based on like things that he would like to talk about his experience as like a Black man in America, but it wasn't selling. And like once he finally like like goes under the alias and he like makes that book that isn't even like because he kind of made it like as a joke,
right?
And it becomes like this whole big thing, and it's like there's like a movie deal attached to it, and yeah, like just in general, like that movie was like really crazy to watch. So you guys should go watch it.
Mhm.
I feel like me and Ethan need to watch that movie again because actually it was really good.
I really enjoyed that one, and it kind of just, there was this scene where our main character and Issa Rae's character had a conversation in regards to like the conversation surrounding his novel, and people will kind of use black people's stereotypes or their struggles for other people's entertainment, and they kind of feed into that, like what sells. And I think it kind of really reflects like some societal issues that we kind of need to tackle on even today. But I think it was a really good movie, and I would want to go watch that one again, to be honest, too. All right, so from those four, what's our ranking? So first place for me was Past Lives. We had Poor Things, American Fiction, Anatomy of a Fall.
Yeah, I mean, Past Lives for me changed me. I came home crying with Ethan.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna tell you about what.
Right. We don't need to have that conversation on here.
Yeah. But Past Lives was really beautiful. I think I really, really like Poor Things, but I think I'd want to put American Fiction as my second choice just because, like, it kind of felt, like, insane to watch that movie and watch that, like, perspective. And, like, it's just, like, I feel so bad about it. Not, like, bad sometimes, but, like, I always, like, try to, educate myself and like teach myself that like these things happen every single day. And like I guess for me, like going back into like, oh, like why am I in my career like as a film director, like for me I just want to have like diverse casts, but not, you know, like when they try to do the little checklist like, oh, we have like a brown person, like check whatever.
Right.
Like I really do want to make change in which like I have like a production company one day that like amplifies like not only Hispanic voices but black voices as well, and like just every other like person of color, because I really do want to know that like perspective, and I think like it just needs to be like shown and like told, like these stories need to be told, because obviously there's people that exist outside of like the stereotypes.
100%.
So yeah, I feel really deeply about those issues. So yeah, American Fiction would be my second, and then Poor Things would be my third, and then Anatomy of a Fall would be my fourth.
Yeah.
I was on Instagram,
Sure,
and like I just saw, like I'll show you, Dolly Parton came out with her line with like Krispy Kreme donuts. It's like the Southern Sweets donut collection.
Okay.
And look at that, that's so cute.
Oh yeah, that is pretty cool.
I'm probably gonna go eat some.
Nice.
But they have like the Dolly Dazzler, the Peachy Keen Cobbler,
What? They have all
the
the
banana
names and everything?
pudding, chocolate cream pie. Girl,
I would have thought they would like try to tie in Jolene somewhere in there.
yeah, those are good though.
Yeah, she does sound really good.
But yeah, I think that's it for like media. Guys, we're gonna tell you a little story before we like start to like wrap up. Like, wait, should we tell it? Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, guys. So basically, we're not gonna like tell you names and everything, but there's this like person that me and Ethan know from like middle school.
Right.
And obviously, like I don't want to say the wrong things because like no. They we're gonna like, put that out. So they kind of have been like on a kind of like stalking spree on like a couple of like my middle school classmates since we left middle school
in 2017, mind you.
And it just feels crazy because like they just know like personal information about us that like we didn't even know that they knew about.
Yeah. So for context, yeah, this person we had went to school with, and post graduation everybody kind of went like their own ways, and then a good chunk of us went to the same high school, right? So we kept in touch. But yeah, like throughout high school I remember getting hit up on Snapchat by this person, and the crazy thing was like the conversations would be so hard to navigate because they would just like speak in riddles and just like speak in tongues or metaphors, and it was just hard to like understand what they were trying to say, like just get to the point, right? But I don't know, they would make multiple, and I mean multiple accounts with like snap scores of not even 100, right? Just like adding us and DMing us out of nowhere like, oh, can you tell so and so to stop hitting me up, or like, and mind you, these are classmates that we haven't talked to since 8th grade, and we're like sophomores, juniors in high school at this point when we're getting
in college.
I mean now, and it's still happening even now, right?
Oh yeah, it's still happening now, because like yesterday I got scared the shit out of, because another person like from that I knew from high school like followed me on my social medias, and I was like, wait, what's happening? And like I just looked at like my messages, and they showed me the screenshots from their phone, and basically like that person was like telling them like, hey, can you like contact
so and so,
like so and so, and like for you to like contact other people, like contact this person to get to that person. And like they try to follow me on Instagram again. And like the thing is that they have also made multiple accounts, followed me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Like it's kind of crazy. Yeah, so I just try to block them all the time. And like I know it sounds like, I guess, effed up or like a bit crazy, but just like this has been going on for like a while, and they keep saying like the same thing. So
yeah, don't get us wrong, like we're not intentionally like trying to ignore anybody, or like we don't want anyone to get hurt, right? But this has been happening since we literally graduated 8th grade. Like at least 2 or 3 times a year since then, I've gotten hit up by like different spam accounts that they've made, and it's always like, oh, can you talk to this person who we graduated with? I have not seen that person since we graduated. What do you mean? Like I don't know, it's weird because life goes on, and like
some people are stuck in middle school.
I don't know. I don't know.
But yeah, we don't really know, guys, but I just thought it was like something funny, I suppose, to like add, because like it's been going on for like a while,
and we don't really know what to do.
Yeah, and it's been like so many people that were like in our middle school class that we don't even talk to, and we're just like no, like you need to stop, like for real, like you're scaring me. So I wanted to start off with media of the week, slash like songs that we've been listening to this week. For me, I guess like my top songs, I just really like let me see if I can find it. I think it's Ride or Die Part 2, and it's like with Tokisha. And it's with like 2 other artists, and like it sounds really good. Like yes. Oh, and then Dua Peep. Dua Peep. I love this album. Like whenever I like look at it on like the visuals, like I just think of like a day on my little yacht in the water. I just think of water, and like, water always calms me and makes me feel good.
I feel the same way.
Yeah. So my favorite song is These Walls, and what Dua Peep is saying in this like song is crazy, but she makes it work. And then my last song is probably Like That by like Future, Metro Boomin, and Kendrick. Obviously y'all know why. It just makes me like laugh, but it's a good little tune.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, how about you though?
I would have to say is a song by Vampire Weekend. It's an indie band, the late 2000s or whatever. I think they just released an album. There's one song on the album called Capricorn, and that's I Sign. But I don't know, the way the emotions that song just like evokes, it just makes me want to re-listen to it. And I don't know, I think that's probably my most replayed song from the week. So yeah, shout out Capricorns all over the world. I've also been listening to Dominic Fike. He just released 14 minutes of like unheard music or something like that. I really don't know what it is, but one of the songs off of there is called Mrs. And that's probably one of the only songs off of there that I actually enjoyed. But finally, we have the one and only multi-talented Willow Smith. And Willow Smith is like very on that indie type of journey. She's never really been one to conform to society standards of what they expect of someone within our age range in music, but Big Feelings by Willow. We might just have to. Wait a minute.
No, love her down. Is it Donald Glover?
Donald Glover, yeah.
Yeah, I watched I watched on Amazon Prime. I watched We're the Smiths. That show is actually really good, guys. You guys should go watch that. that show was really, really good.
Might
It
just have to check it
actually,
out.
yeah, budget was budgeting.
Budget, okay.
Like any movies or films this week? No.
I watched. Oh yeah, I actually did watch. So we just finished finals week, right?
Yeah.
And one of my classes, like I'd mentioned, I'm studying psychology, and one of the classes that I was taking this semester was biopsychology. And for our final, we kind of had to like analyze biopsychology used within the arts, so a film of our choice or whatnot. And I chose to analyze Brain on Fire, a Netflix original that's based off of a memoir of the same name, and it kind of follows the story of Susanna Duhanan, I think. Susanna Callahan, yeah.
Yeah, Callahan.
Yeah, so essentially she is like starting to go down this downward spiral because she has an undiagnosed neurotic disorder, and the film kind of follows her throughout her spiral, but kind of sheds a light on the complications of diagnosing something that was only discovered, I want to say 14 years ago, right? And her diagnosis, she was diagnosed in 2012, and this is all based on a true story. But yeah, she was like acting very irrational at work. She was not feeling like herself, just like disassociating, and eventually she had to get hospitalized because she was having seizures and all this stuff. And yeah, we just kind of had to like analyze that film. But yeah, it was just cool to kind of analyze the accuracies within film and like the dramatization of certain elements. But yeah, we were just kind of just reflecting on what's accurate, what's inaccurate. It's a good watch, to be honest. It's not a crazy deep dive, but to shine light on a not very known neurotic disorder, and kind of like the complications that come with misdiagnosing or just like quick to medicate someone for something that they don't know anything about. Yeah, I think it was just interesting to see that, and like how technology and our understanding of different psychological disorders has evolved, and there's still so much that we don't know yet. But I think with time and with the help of that film, it kind of allows us to be a little bit more precautious in identifying and taking care of these real patients with real issues. And yeah, Brain on Fire, it's on Netflix. Check it out.
Yes, I watched War for the Planet of the Apes.
Ooh.
Before I watched Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and I really like that trilogy. Where it's like, I forgot the titles right now, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Those like 3 movies that like include like Caesar's story, they have such an emotional pull on me that like I'm rooting for the apes, like for real, like fuck us, cause no, like how are we so evil? And obviously like I've always watched movies, or like films in general, and like I realize that like sometimes human beings are really crazy and cruel, but I guess it's within our nature. I don't know. But
we are very selfish and cruel beings.
Yes, but sometimes we are boots and slay.
Like us.
So, yes, like us. And then I've been watching a new anime. It's called Full Metal Alchemist.
Ooh.
And it's about like this brother. It's about these 2 brothers that lose their mom, and they try to like bring her back. With like, I guess it's alchemy.
Mm-hmm.
But it's unsuccessful. So basically, the older brother loses like his arm and his leg, and the younger brother, like he loses his whole body. So basically, like his soul it's like a transfusion. Like it's like a metal. He's like a metal bot with like the soul of the brother. But that's basically all I'll say for that. But yeah, it's really good. I've been watching like a lot of animes recently. So yeah, I really like to like dive into like different forms of media. I also saw that Francis Ford Coppola is coming out with this new movie, and he was like high for the most of it. So
wow.
So I really do want to go see it because I'm like, whoa, like boots.
Yeah, it'd be trippy maybe.
Yeah, it might be trippy. So I'm gonna go see that.
Might just have to check it out.
Yeah, whenever it comes out. But for next week's episode, I think one of the things I'll be telling you guys a little story about one of my friendships that it kind of like exploded in some sense, like within like a couple of months, like friendship that I had for such a long time kind of went like the wrong way. and like how I like basically cried for like a while, I guess. Yeah, because friendships are crazy, guys. Especially, I think for me, like, girl friendships are, like, always so, like, I love you more than I could ever love, like, a partner sometimes.
Yeah.
Because that's how I feel, like, with Ethan. Like, Ethan is, like, my best friend, and, like, I love Ethan, and, like,
Oh, I love you too.
no man will come before him.
I appreciate that. Such a special place in your heart. Huh?
No, yes. So yeah, I'll go into that next week. So yeah.
Yeah, and I'll probably touch on that topic a little bit too. I think that's what we can. Yeah, that's probably our topic for next week. We're gonna have a conversation regarding little friendships and our experiences within the last couple of years, and just like navigating those complicated friendships. And
yeah. And I think also something that we can dive into is realizing your self-worth, because I mean that's actually a topic that we could go into like next week, like talking about like our past friendships like in college, and how some of them are doing and how some of them are like not even there anymore, and like I guess how like we'll teach you guys in some way like how to navigate college friendships, or like people that you're friends with like during your college years, and I guess just like learn like to really value yourself.
At the end of the day, you only got you, for real.
Yeah, for real. But me and Ethan are locked in. So.
Yeah, we're locked in though.
Yeah.
We'll be navigating those friendships, and then like how on the kind of like outskirts of that we kind of reconnected as a result.
Yes. Yeah, we can totally go into like our reconnection story. And this was the first episode
of
for navigating your
20.
20.
Let us know how we did, and obviously this is our first attempt at actually recording.
Yes,
but
this is our pilot, guys.
This is our pilot. Yeah, you guys definitely tune in. Let us know what you want to hear next.
Yeah.
And until next time,
guys, wait, actually I forgot, for our podcast I want to make this Google form in which you guys like each week like we have like a little advice section in which if you guys have questions about like certain topics regarding like college, or like just like navigating your 20s like in general, like, you know, for example, like if you're someone that's going into college, like, you know, you can ask us questions based on like our experiences. But yeah, like basically like we'll just help you guys out in that matter, so you guys don't feel as like alone before you guys come into college. Or if you guys just have any questions regarding like school or like other topics, yeah, like we'll be making that little Google form soon. So you guys can like let us know.
Like we said, this is only our first episode, but yeah, we hope to inspire some people. We hope to spark some change. We hope that you resonate with something that we say. We hope that you feel seen and heard and understood, because I don't know, through media and films that we've watched, we've definitely felt that effect, and we're just hoping that we can, I don't know, be that for someone else.
Yeah. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.
We'll see y'all.
And we will see y'all in the
in
next
the next one.
episode. Bye.
All right, y'all take care.